I feel what you're holding, what you're carrying, the weight you're trying to shake off, but it lingers like a fog. There's a deep pull inside of you, and it's not one that you can just explain away or ignore or talk yourself out of. This quiet ache, that's the calling. The world has a way of making you think that you should have it all figured out by now, like you're behind, or that others have it all together while you're still piecing together the pieces of who you are and what you're meant to do. You see people confidently walking their paths and wonder, what am I doing wrong? Why do I feel so lost? But love, listen, you are not lost. You never were. What you are feeling is not a sign of weakness. It's not a sign of failing or falling short. It's your soul reminding you of something that you've forgotten or something you've been afraid to fully remember. There's a space in you that hasn't been fully unlocked. You've had glimpses of it. Those moments when time disappears, when you feel completely yourself, when you're deeply alive, but they've been fleeting. And then you wonder, why can't I hold on to that? Why does it feel so out of reach? Here's the thing, that aliveness, that is the real you. The rest is noise. The doubt, the fear, the plans that you've built because that's what you thought you should have wanted. They're the distractions. They're the conditioned responses. They're the stories you've inherited from the world around you, but they aren't the truth of who you are. And I know it's not easy to separate yourself from those stories, especially when they've been with you for so long. The right way of doing things, the correct order, the fear of disappointing others or not measuring up. But none of that is yours. None of that is the voice of your soul. That is the voice of the mind, the sacred, protective part of you that wants to keep you safe, but will never, ever allow you to fully feel free. It's the voice that says, wait for more signs. Wait until everything makes sense. Wait until the path is clear. But the path is never clear until you step forward. You were not meant to figure it all out in advance. That's where you've been getting stuck. You've been waiting for certainty to show up like a map, but certainty never comes. What comes is presence. The spark, the flicker, the quiet yes. That's all you need. I know you've been afraid to move forward without guarantee that things will work out, that it will all come together, that you won't fall flat. But here's what I need you to understand. The divine does not work through guarantees. It works through trust. It's trust in yourself, trust in your instinct, trust in your willingness to show up, even when you don't know the full picture. And you have it in you, whether you fully believe it or not. Trust doesn't mean you have to have all the answers. It means you're willing to follow the truth of your heart, even when you're scared, even when you're uncertain. It means you're willing to take the next step, even when the ground beneath you feels unstable. You've been asking, what is my purpose? And that is a beautiful question. But I want to shift it for you just a little bit. Your purpose is not a designation. Your purpose is in the living, breathing, doing of it all. It's in the things that you care so much about that you could lose yourself for hours in them and still feel like you haven't even started. It's in the moments when you're fully present, fully alive. Those moments are where purpose exists. The purpose is in the small things that feel big, the little truths you speak, the way you care, the way you create, the way you live when no one is watching, the way you soften, the way you remember who you really are when everything else falls away. You are not here to play small. You are not here to hide behind fear. You are not here to wait for permission from anyone, including yourself. You're here to show up fully, completely, in every single moment, so the world can see the fullness of who you are, so you can remember piece by piece that you are already whole. I know it feels like you're standing at the edge of something, waiting for the sign that is safe to jump, but the sign is in the jumping. It's in the moving, the living, the trusting that each step you take is exactly the right one, even when you don't see the whole path. There is no perfect time to start. There is no right moment that will suddenly make everything fall into place. There is only this moment and this one and the next. Trust yourself. Trust the pull that feels so quiet yet so certain. Trust that even the fear, even the uncertainty is part of the process. It's not a mistake. It's the way you grow. You are so much more capable than you give yourself credit for. You are more supported than you believe. You are more loved than you can possibly comprehend. You are not alone in this. So take the next step. Let your heart lead. Let your soul guide. And if you fall, if you stumble, if you get lost for a moment, there's nothing wrong with that. It's all part of this beautiful, messy, imperfect journey. You are here to feel it all, to live it all, to love it all. And in doing so, you'll become the very person you've been longing to be all along. Story time. Long before time could be measured or marked by a ticking clock. There was a soul, a spark of light, infinite and free. This soul was not bound by any form, any shape, any limitation. It existed in a realm where space was boundless, where time did not yet exist, and where pure essence flowed without restriction. This soul, like all souls, was a part of a greater ocean, an ocean of energy, of consciousness, of pure love. But even within this vast, infinite expanse, there was a longing, a quiet ache, a stirring deep within the soul to know itself, not just as light and love, but as something more, to experience darkness and light, to feel what it meant to grow, to change, to evolve. And so the soul made a decision. It chose to incarnate into a world of matter, a world of time, a world of limitations. It chose to forget the vastness of its true nature for a while so it could experience something new, something unique, something human. It entered the womb of a mother into a body of flesh and bone. In the moment it became aware of its form, it experienced the first taste of separation, the first sensation of what it was meant to be: something, someone, individual. It felt the pulse of the heart, the rush of the blood through veins, the coolness of breath filling lungs. But with this new awareness came confusion. The soul, now in the body, looked around and wondered, who am I? Where am I? Why do I feel disconnected from everything that came before? It felt the pull of its original essence, but it was dim, hidden beneath layers of experience, conditioning, and the constraints of the physical world. As the soul grew, it learned the ways of the human world. It learned to walk, to speak, to feel. It learned to love, to fear, to seek. But somewhere deep inside, it knew that something was missing. There was an emptiness, an echo of something that it fully couldn't understand. It went through cycles of joy and pain, of connection and disconnection, always searching for something beyond what it could see with its eyes. There were times when the soul felt a rush of remembrance, when it could almost touch the truth of the edges that it had forgotten. It would stand by the ocean, feeling the cold breeze, and for a moment, it would remember the vastness of its being. It would look up at the stars and feel a deep sense of longing, a sense of being one with the divine, yet also feeling the weight of being separated from it. The soul, in its human form, would feel as if it were walking in two worlds at once. One that was filled with illusion, limitation, and another that whispered to it of freedom, unity, and wholeness. And in those quiet moments of stillness, the soul could hear the voice of its true nature, subtle, soft, like a distant hum in the background of everything. But the journey was not meant to be easy. The soul had come to learn and grow, to understand itself through the contrast of human experience. It needed to feel the depth of pain to know the sweetness of joy. It needed to feel the sting of loss to appreciate the beauty of connection. And with every step, it was awakening slowly and steadily to the truth that it was not just a body, not just a name, not just a story. It was a vast, eternal essence that cannot be defined by any one experience. Years passed. The soul, still in human form, wandered through life, meeting others who too were on their own journeys of discovery. Sometimes the soul felt deeply connected to others, as if it had known them for lifetimes. And other times, it felt painfully alone. But each connection, each moment of love, each tear shed, each laugh shared was a step towards remembering. One day, the soul found itself at a crossroad. It had lived many lives in its human form, but now it stood at the edge of something new, a moment of clarity. For the first time, it had understood that it had been searching for itself all along. Every step, every heartbreak, every joy, every loss. It had been a part of its own journey back to the truth of who it was. It had realized that it has always been whole. It had always been one with the divine, with the ocean of light that it had came from. In that moment, everything fell away. The illusion of separation dissolved, and the soul remembered that it was not confined to the human body, to time, to limitations of the physical world. It was beyond all of that. It was vast, infinite, and eternal. And as the soul stood there, fully awake, it felt a profound peace. A peace that was not of this world, but of the truth it had been searching for for all along. It realized that the journey had never been about finding something outside of itself. It had always been about remembering. The soul smiled softly, its light shining brighter than it ever had before. It was not lost. It had never been lost. It had only been asleep, waiting for the right moment to wake up. And now it was awake, alive in the truth of its own being. The soul, now fully embodied in the human experience, knew that it could continue to live with this awareness, that it was both the journey and the destination, the seeker and the found. There was no separation. There was only being, and with that, the soul knew it could never be lost again. I love you. Peace and love.
There's light on the other side, shining through what I've survived. Every scar and every break, let me hit alive. I can finally see the path, feel the wind upon my face. There's light on the other side, and I'm home in this space. I'm no longer hiding pieces, no longer weighed by doubt. The echoes of the old me fade and I step out. Every tear, every struggle, every night I stayed awake. It brought me closer to this moment, to the dawn I now embrace. And I know I'll keep on learning, but the fear is far behind. I'm reaching, I'm believing for the light I'm meant to find. There's light on the other side, shining through what I've survived. Every scar and every break, let me hear alive. I can finally see the path, feel the wind upon my face. There's light on the other side, and I'm home in this space. I'm standing where the roads divide, not sure which way to go. Half the past is on my left, the future waits below. I feel the weight of choices, the echoes of what's known. But maybe walking in the middle is the only way to grow. And I don't need to have it figured out, I don't need to see the end. Every step I take is proof enough that I'm learning how to mend. In the middle of the path, I'm finding who I am, not running from the shadows, not chasing distant plans. It's quiet, it's uncertain, but it's exactly where I stand. In the middle of the path, I finally understand. Some days I stumble, some days I glide, some moments feel too small, but the light slips softly through the trees, and I hear the past call. It doesn't harm me anymore, it's just another guide walking here in the middle. I feel my edges collide. No need for perfect lines, no need for speed or fame. I'm learning how to meet myself where the path feels the same. In an enemy race, I'm finding who I am, not running from the shadows, not chasing distant plans. It's quiet, it's uncertain, but it's exactly where I stand. In the middle of the path, I finally understand. Hey, 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 hey. past my reflection, and it didn't know my name. The face I thought I carried had been washed away by change. Every line, every shadow, every scar I used to hide, they've shaped someone stronger, but I don't know her side. And it's strange to feel this foreign, to see my eyes like flames. I've burned the old versions and nothing looks the same. I'm unrecognizable, even to myself. The girl I knew is gone, replaced by someone else. And it scares me, thrills me, all in the same breath. I'm unrecognizable, and I feel alive in the dead. I hear the whispers of my past, trying to call me home, but I'm stepping through the shadows where the new self roams. Every doubt I've shed is heavy, every step a leap of trust. I'm breaking all definitions and rising from the dust. I don't need to be the same, I don't need to stay contained. The mirror shows the proof I've survived, I've changed. I'm unrecognizable, even to myself. The girl I knew is gone, replaced by someone else. And it scares me, thrills me, all in the same breath. I'm unrecognizable, and I feel alive in the depth. Wake up with the sunrise glowing in my mind, feeling every breath, lining with the divine. Walking with intention, moving like I'm weightless. All the old vibrations falling off, I'm ageless. I tune in, tune up, let the energy flow. I rise in silence where the truth unfolds. My spirit speaks in ways I can't ignore. I hit a level I ain't touched before. I'm shifting to a higher frequency, breaking out the limits that were holding me. Body, mind, and soul in synchronicity. Yeah, I'm vibing, vibing higher than I used to be. Up to be. Up is must to be used. Grounded in the moment, standing in my core, hearing ancient echo I ain't heard before. Moving with a purpose, steady like a heartbeat. Every lesson's paying pathways under my feet. I surrender to the stillness, let the noise fade out. That inner conversation telling me the route. My intuition opening the door, stepping through into the evermore. I'm shifting to a higher frequency, breaking out the limits that were holding me. Body, mind, and soul in synchronicity. Yeah, I'm vibing, vibing higher than I used to be. Vibing, to be. Vibing, business, baby. And when the world gets heavy, I be.